Hey everyone, it's Libby from maighstirtarot. I'd like to acknowledge the Worimi First Nations people, the traditional custodians of the land on which these videos are made, and welcome to you, your guides, my guides and the universal energies. Okay, first of all, I just want to say a huge thank you for Margie for this fabulous tarot deck. I hope you don't mind. It's not really my style, but my daughter saw it and she actually has the matching oracle deck and she's like, oh, can I have that? So I'll pass this one on to my daughter, but thank you, thank you, thank you. It is a beautiful deck and I'm sure she'll get a lot of use and pleasure out of it. And also for Virginia, thank you so much for the decks and gosh, getting spoiled. The decks and the beautiful pens. Gosh, I always need good pens and the poppy seeds. So thank you very huge thank you. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Just want to say postage is horrendous. It's more than enough. I am so grateful that you are here with me and you guys are also learning to engage in your own spirituality. So don't feel that you have to send me anything. I do really appreciate, but as I said, it's more than enough that you simply are spending this time with the community. Okay, what do I want to have a look at in this particular reading? I'm going to have a look at the Brazil elections coming up. When are they? The 4th is the initial balloting moment. And then if a runoff is required, that will happen on the 25th of October. So pretty much on the 4th of October, what will happen is that there will be the initial, balloting thing happening. And if one party does not get more than 50% of the countings, it then goes to a runoff between the two leaders on the 25th of October. Now, the reason why I want to have a look is that there is a bit of going on. Interference, allegedly, entertainment only. So what has happened? The two front runners are Lula da Silva. He is the current leader of Brazil. Will be running off against Flavio Bolsonaro, who is the son of Jair, however you pronounce it, Bolsonaro Senior, who apparently was leader for a long time, but there's a lot of speculation about ballot fandangling during his period, and when there was actually fair balloting, Lula da Silva won quite decisively. What happened then is then Bolsonaro Senior tried to lead a coup. Of course he did in 2022 to overthrow Lula da Silva. And what has happened, and because Bolsonaro Senior, he's a good friend of the Orange Idiot up in the US and of the Kremlin, etc. And I suspect he probably thought that he should have won due to, again, fiddling with the votes. What's just thrown out there? He Six of Swords, legally moving on, but trying to get out of troubled waters, pretty much. What happened then, he tried to lead a coup and then was subsequently arrested, prosecuted, and is currently sitting in jail for a period of around 27 years. Now, what's happened is his son, Flavio, is running against Lula da Silva. Now, what has happened is the Brazilian government denied visas to a US Department of Democracy. Oh, right, okay, with the current regime, that's a bit of a misconception. Delegation. A US Department of Democracy delegation because of suspicion. Oh, there's old Starlink. We know who the Starlink person is. Due to um, accusations or suspicions of the election system undermining by this US Department of Democracy. It's a bit of an oxymoron with this current year. The attempt to steal, the attempt to betray, but they were denied the visas. I think there was 2 of them, so they were turned back at the border. We've got here the 3 of Swords. So we've got the 5 of Swords, the 3 of Swords, very much about betrayal, treason, heartbreak, loss. And you've got the 6 of Pentacles. This is, I got 2 cards in the deck for vote flipping. This is one of them. But this could also just simply have been to try and pay voters off or pay somebody off in the system to instigate the vote flipping. Okay, what's also happened is that the Brazilian government has not approved the regime's choice, which they have full right to with that 9 of Wands. Not approved the US's choice for ambassador to Brazil from the US, Danny Perez. I'm actually going to pause you and have a look. I didn't look up Danny Perez, and I feel like I must. Hang on a sec. Okay, apparently he was in the Florida House of Representatives, so the state administration, the state government, very anti-DeSantis. Oh, that's interesting. Well, that'll win him some brownie points for the orange idiot. But apparently he's also a personal friend of Narco Rubio's. Okay, so let's see. So the reason why Brazil knocked him back was pretty much because, they weren't asked, do you approve of this guy? He's a first-generation son of Cuban immigrants. That's interesting, just like Narco Rubio is. Okay, so there's a familiar feels going on there. He was encouraged to run for the Attorney General of Florida against DeSantis's ally, but he didn't, and continued serving as Speaker of the House in the Florida state. But since then, he's departed and was up for this. Okay, I'm feeling like I really need to have a close look at him. This Danny Perez, as I said, first generation son of Cuban immigrants, just like Narco. What was it about Danny Perez, aside from the fact that Brazil wasn't asked whether he was, an okay before the orange idiot swore him in as the Brazilian ambassador, the US ambassador to Brazil. There's something more going on. What is it about Danny Perez? The World card. Bigger picture. Bringing something coming full circle and bringing a closure on the world stage. What is it about Danny Perez? Entertainment only. Right, we've got the 7 of Cups. I mean, I don't know this guy from a bag of salt, but there's something. The challenge for him is all is not as it appears. Smoke and mirrors, illusion, delusion. Something is the challenge for him is something is not all as it appears. He was ready to step up on the world stage, but there's something that was brought to an end because of this wool over the eyes type situation. You've got the 6 of Wands, a false victory here. The energy he's stewing in, a false victory. Been seen for something. Let's see where it goes. In the past, we've got the Nine of Cups. Be careful what you wish for. As I said, I wouldn't know this guy from a bag of salt. The Page of Coins. Information coming forth. A document that was supplied to the Brazilian government. What is it? In the immediate future, finding himself legally restricted. What is it about Danny Perez? The magician, the manipulation, again, something illusional. And the Queen of Cups. Trying to keep something under wraps here. Oh, the Moon card and the hopes and fears, secrets being revealed. I'm going to have a closer look at this guy. And then we've got betrayal, treason at the top. The De Silva government was right to keep him out. And the Ace of Cups. An emotional overwhelming or a cleansing or a partnership. And then when you've got this abuse of power and betrayal. You've got the Star, could be connections with Fleon, and the Star card. Something plotting and planning. Again, we've got the World here that was in the very first card. Coming up, attempting a new plan or looking at options here. And finding himself fully exposed. And then you've got the Five of Wands, the throwing under the bus. A rejection of the offer and then the truth coming out, a harsh truth coming out with that Knight of Swords about something to do with trying to steal or lie and his relationships with those in the White House. A lot of information coming forward very quickly, and it's to do with his history. His family history that was brought to an end. He's really got, I always get with Narco, he's got a real chip on his shoulder that his family were forced to flee and leave behind all their wealth and so on. This Danny Perez has got this same vibe. As I said, entertainment only, allegedly. I'm just throwing some cards to see what I can glean from them. Okay, so apparently the US has now revoked the Brazilian diplomat, revoked their visa, but hasn't tossed them out of the country as of yet. There's something here about Perez. Okay, from Brazil's point of view, why did they? Oh, I'm using the mystical manga cards in case you're wondering what they are. Why, from Brazil's Lula da Silva's government administration, why did they reject Danny Perez? What is it that they suspect? Betrayal, heartbreak, loss, regret, that they would come to regret. There is some regret here. Trying to get across that walkway to the castle. Cups spilt. Why did they reject him? I'm just hearing, my guides are telling me he has said something in a conversational area. I'm going to say a private gathering, but it wasn't private. It was like a function or something. And it was overheard. Okay, spilt cups and regret, and cups with blood in them. Prepared to spill cups over past regrets to get across the stepping stones. I mean, yeah. Six of Pentacles, the challenge. It's my vote flipping card. It's my election fandangling card. Garnering wealth, hoarding wealth while others starve. I'm getting he's in support. Now, I might be completely wrong because I haven't read anything. And as I said, I'm just a tarot reader sitting at a towel at a table on the other side of the world. But I'm getting something about the blockade to Cuba, like he's in support of it. And he's happy to see blood spilt. There's something he said. Yeah, the Page of Wands. Something he said, a message, a fiery message. The energy he's stewing in, there was something fiery that was said. Wasn't big, but it was enough. In the past, contracts and agreements with, I mean, this is a conversation, an emotional conversation, a heated comment. An emotional conversation with some sort of agreement that was made. And it may have to be, it just feels like it was aggression towards Cuba or something. And, almost like a comment what my guides are giving me was that we need to take Brazil to consolidate power in South America or Middle America or wherever Brazil is. Brazil is the outlier that's leading the defiance against the far-right movement in South America. Okay, crowning this reading, the Seven of Swords. Betrayal, lying, stealing, thieving, but was seen. Is that smoke and mirrors again, the delusion, the image he's giving off is not all as it seems. The Knight of Cups, which is the Trojan horse, the false fake offer, internally ties to this demonic energy with the Devil card internally. What did they, there was something that was overheard is what I'm getting. The hopes and fears is the attempt to plan, but I mean, look at the aggression on that face there. Bigger picture plan. Yeah, fully exposed with the Sun card. Thigh deep in the swamp with that Two of Swords. With the Emperor. Where does his loyalties lie? With this dictatorship. With the dictatorship, the inability to harvest with the Seven of Pentacles, follow the money trails, all this work going on behind the scenes, devious work going on behind the scenes, but it's not going to come off with the Death card there. The Death and the Empress card. I mean, I know the Empress is the Russian card, but it's more now, it's more got the feels of just that autocratic dictator, authoritarian ghastliness that Russia is known for. On the bottom, you've got the Moon, and then you've got the Ten of Cups. So hidden agendas being revealed, secrets being revealed about an ending, but it's to do with his family, and a lot of information coming out from an unexpected source with the Page of Cups. And then you've got the Tower card. Yeah, I think I'm just getting that he made a comment in a public place that was overheard, that was about and as I split the deck, we've got this card. the aggression, abuse of power, win at any cost, betrayal, lies, deceit, you name it, the bully. He was appointed to assist Bolsonaro as a means to consolidate against Cuba. Because if Brazil fell to this far-right ghastliness, that would pretty much leave Claudia Sheinbaum on her own in that region. I don't know what other progressive governments there are. The Bolivian one was fandangled and the people know it. So there's all sorts of riots and protests happening down there. The people, they were deceived. Oh, the oligarchs and the government, and then the Five of Wands walking towards something perhaps, and the hidden agenda. So this is all to do with the oligarchical control, but I don't think they're going to be able to pull it off. They take Lula da Silva out, and I'm talking about the CIA or SEAL Team 6 or whoever. It's only going to hurt their case even more. There might be some plotting behind the scenes to overthrow the government, though, but it's going to be revealed. Here's Da Silva, along with the King of Swords, legal action, stability of government. Could also be mercenary actions to try and flip everything, but then you've got the loss and regret. Yeah. Grrr. Okay, let's have a look. I just want to have a look to see how Flavio Bolsonaro is going to go. I mean, we're a ways off October. Is Flavio Bolsonaro, how is the lead up to this going to go for him? So not only has the Danny Perez been stopped from arriving to give a hand, so has the US Department of Democracy. That's an oxymoron if you ever heard one from this current. So all means of the US, all legitimate means by this regime, sorry, it's not the US, it's not you guys, all the legitimate attempts by the regime, US regime, to try and insert someone to fandangle the voting has failed so far. So how are things going to go in the lead up to the voting? What's going to happen? Right. Hard work happening behind the scenes in regards to the voting. The death card, I don't know if I like that as a challenge. Ending of something significant, the scythe coming through. There's my vote flipping card. In the past, you've got temperance, the balance. Crowning the reading, you've got the Five of Wands, the argy-bargy infighting. How's it going to go? And I am thinking from this side of the US regime, getting cut, potentially. Ah, there's that bully abuse of power with the Five of Swords. The Two of Swords, the thigh deep in the swamp, trying to create something. The Six of Cups, naivety. Something that they tried in the past that potentially worked and they're going to try again. Because this is win at any cost, but the hopes and fears is the Wheel of Fortune, karma coming and biting on the backside, the wheel turning, they have no control over it, end of the oligarchical empire, the people, the Three of Cups coming together and bringing about a new beginning, powerful new beginning. The Ten of Swords, downfall, White House, Starlink, Emperor, King of Swords, legal action, documentation being brought forward about meddling with the Empress card. I think they're going to be exposed for trying to meddle. There's actually going to be documentation that comes out. Show me, is there going to be something physical that exposes meddling? There's that star and the Ten of Swords on, the Eight of Swords, restriction of the manipulation, and then judgment, and then the Hierophant, the regime or the higher authorities, the World Court. I just heard the World Court. A lot of information coming forward, unexpected quarter, justice being brought against those that think they should have control. Be careful what you wish for, because a light is going to be shone on the Hermit with the swamp, and secrets are going to be revealed in regards to the moon. Yeah, there's something going to come out that is going to this is attempted a wish fulfillment, but I think they're going to be revealed. Secrets revealed, Hermit and Moon card. Justice, I mean, this is action being taken with documentation or regarding ballots. But yeah, and I've got Starlink here and manipulation. Big wake-up call. Starlink being restricted. Okay. Yep. Going to be exposed. Now, a lot of us have seen that the US manipulation, the information about that is going to come from overseas, because there's that information coming in from overseas. And then we've got the Temperance, and then we've got the Ace of Swords, truth coming forward about this alchemy that happened. What are we looking at? October, early October, a month before the US one. So it's going to be exposed, an attempted manipulation, and very possibly exposed how it was done. Okay, I'm going to leave that there. Let's see how it plays out. Love to you all. Take care. Bye-bye.